Let's start today's practice in a comfortable seated position on the mat. Take a deep inhale in, lift your shoulders up to your ears and down your back. And we'll start with some seated neck rolls. So tilt your head to one side and roll in a circular motion in one direction. And now roll in the opposite direction. Come back to stillness. Inhale and lower your left ear to your left shoulder. Lift your left arm up and reach it over to your right ear. Rise back up and switch sides. Send your right ear to your right shoulder. Lift your right arm up and over to your left ear. Release. Come back up. Interlace your arms behind your back. Exhale and start to hinge forward, bringing your arms up with you. Inhale, rise back up and shift forward to your belly. Place your forearms beside you. Inhale, rise up to cobra. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up to cobra. Exhale, lower down. Take 2 more rounds like this on your own breath. And after your 2 rounds, come back to stillness. Plant firmly through your hands. Inhale and rise up to a tabletop position on your hands and knees for cat-cow. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and stack your hips over your knees. Inhale to cow pose, lower the belly, lift the head up. Exhale, round the spine for cat. Bring the chin closer to the chest. Inhale, back to cow pose. Exhale and round for cat pose. And take 3 more rounds exactly like this on your own breath. After the 3rd round, come back to a neutral tabletop position and then lower your hips down to your heels for child's pose. Extend your arms over your head. Inhale, rise up. For camel pose, come up to your knees in a sitting position on your knees. Place your hands on your low back. Take a deep inhale and then start to exhale and lean backward. Let your head hang. Inhale, rise back up and lower to puppy dog. So send your arms out forward and then lower your chest to the mat, but leave your hips up. Inhale, rise back up to your knees, and we'll take another round of camel. Place your hands on your low back. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Lean backward. Open the heart, open the chest. Inhale, rise back up, and then shift to puppy dog. Lay the arms out long. Lower the chest to the mat. Keep the hips stacked over the knees. One more round. Rise back up for camel to your knees. Place the hands on the low back. Inhale, fill up the belly, and exhale, lower. Inhale, rise back up and shift to puppy dog. Lay the arms out long, bring the chest to the mat. Take one round of breath here. Inhale, rise up, curl the toes under, send the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs here. Remember to spread through the fingertips so your weight is evenly distributed. Inhale, gaze forward, plant firmly through your hands, and roll forward to your belly. And then lay all the way down. Extend your arms out long. Inhale and lift your right arm and your left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift your left arm and your right leg. Exhale, lower. And take a few more rounds like this on your own breath. Come back to stillness. Plant firmly through your hands and shift up to tabletop on your hands and knees. Inhale, lift your right arm and extend your left leg back. Exhale, come back to tabletop. Second side. Inhale, lift your left arm and your right leg. Exhale, come back to tabletop. Take 2 more rounds. Come back to stillness after your second round. Take 1 breath. And then inhale, lift your right arm and your left leg straight out. And then exhale, send your right arm out to the right and your left leg out to the left. And then bring it back into tabletop. Second side, left arm, right leg extends. Exhale, send them out to the side. And then come back in to tabletop. Take 1 more round exactly like that. And we'll meet back in a neutral tabletop position. Come to a sitting position on your heels and then shift so that your Sitting on your butt with your knees facing up, soles of the feet are on the mat, and then lower down to your back with your knees up. Inhale and lift the right leg to the sky and then cross it over your left knee. Lift the left leg. Interlace your hands in between your legs on the back of your thigh. And then exhale and stay here or gently bring the knee closer to your chest. Exhale, lower down and switch sides. Lift the left leg to the sky, cross it over the right knee, interlace your hands, and we'll hold here for a few breaths. Exhale, lower down. Keep your knees bent and then bring both knees into your chest, hug them in. Exhale, hover both of your knees over to the left. You can release them and hover them to the left. Inhale, bring them back into center. Exhale to the right. And take a few rounds exactly like that, really isolating the lower abdomen. So go as slowly as you can without compromising your form. Come back to stillness. Lay both of your legs out long on the mat. Inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. And you can keep your legs like this, or you can lower your right leg a little bit and lift your left leg to hover. And then switch legs. Take a few rounds like this. And again, you can lower the leg all the way to the mat if that feels more comfortable. Come back to stillness. Plant your hands behind your back with your fingertips facing your feet and bend your knees for a reverse tabletop position. Take an inhale and lift up through your hips. Exhale, lower back down. We'll take another round like that. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower. 2 more. After your second round, come to a seat and plant your hands in front of you. Send your legs back. Curl your toes under for downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze up to your fingertips, and exhale, walk your hands back to your feet to a forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, reach your arms up, palms face each other. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and walk your hands up to a plank position. You can be in a full plank or you can be in a kneeling plank. Yogi's choice. Exhale and shift over to a side plank again. Again, you can lower your knees, Lift the left arm up to the sky. Exhale, come back to a plank position. And then bend the elbows for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, walk your hands back to your feet to a forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing, palms face each other, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift and walk up to a plank. Shift to a side plank on your right side. Right arm reaches up, left arm plants firmly on the mat. Exhale, come back to a plank. And then shift to chaturanga, bent elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg to the sky for three-leg dog. Bend your left knee and bring it into your nose. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, bring it into your nose. Exhale, send it back one more time. Knee to nose. Exhale, send it back, and then come back to downward facing dog. Rest for a moment, and then we'll do the second side. Inhale, lift the right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee and bring it into your nose. Take 3 rounds on this side. After your third round, gaze to the top of the mat, bend your knees, and step or hop forward. Inhale, reach your arms up, sink the hips back for chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant both hands and step or hop back to chaturanga, bent elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, and lift the right leg. Bring it to the front of the mat for low lunge. Inhale, lift the left leg to the sky for standing splits. Ground down through your hands. And then exhale, come back to low lunge. Take 3 rounds exactly like this. After your third round, step the foot back to chaturanga. Bent elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Second side, lift the left leg. Bring it to the front of the mat for low lunge. Ground down through your hands and then lift the right foot for standing splits. Exhale to lower down. 3 rounds on this side as well. After your third round, send the left foot back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop forward. Inhale, reach your arms up, sink the hips back for chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant both hands and step or hop back to chaturanga, bent elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, and lift the right leg. Bring it to the front of the mat for low lunge. Inhale, lift the left leg to the sky for standing splits. Ground down through your hands. And then exhale, come back to low lunge. Take 3 rounds exactly like this. After your third round, step the foot back to chaturanga. Bent elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Second side, lift the left leg. Bring it to the front of the mat for low lunge. Ground down through your hands and then lift the right foot for standing splits. Exhale to lower down. 3 rounds on this side as well. After your third round, send the left foot back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop forward. Okay. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sink the hips low. Come back up to chair pose. Exhale, come back to standing. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky, palms face each other. Lower the hips into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant both hands and step back to bent elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg and bring it to the top of the mat for a low lunge. Plant firmly through the hands and lift the left leg for standing splits. Exhale, lower to low lunge and take 2 more rounds exactly like that. After your third round, step back to chaturanga. Bent elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, second side. Lift the left leg. Bring it to the top of the mat for low lunge. Ground down through your hands. Lift the right leg for standing splits. And take 3 rounds. After the third round, step back to chaturanga. Bend elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sink into the hips, raise the hands for chair pose. Exhale, come back up to standing. Step your left foot back for warrior 2, bend into your right knee. Left foot faces the left side of the mat. Windmill your arms out to a T and look over your right fingertips. Inhale and flip the right palm. Place the left palm on the back of the left thigh. Reach the right arm up to the sky and take a slight back bend here if it feels good. Exhale, shift forward, bring the right forearm to the top of the right thigh. Left arm extends up to the sky. Exhale, plant both hands on the mat. and step back to chaturanga, bent elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, and we will take the same sequence on the opposite side. Inhale, step back with the right leg, bend into the left knee for warrior two. Windmill your arms out to a T. Inhale, flip the left palm over and lower the right palm to the top of the, or to the back of the right thigh. Exhale, bring the left forearm to the top of the left thigh. Right arm reaches up. Exhale, plant both hands on the mat and step back to chaturanga, bent elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze to the mat, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your hands to your side and step the left leg back to a high lunge. Both toes face the front of the mat, bend into the right knee. Both arms reach up high to the sky, palms face each other, or you can come to high prayer above your head. Exhale, spin the left feet out for a warrior one. Hands stay the same, the right knee is still bent. Heels should be in line with each other. And then we are going to shift to warrior three. So if you have two blocks, walk over, grab your blocks, place them to frame your right foot on the highest setting so that you can reach down with your hands. If you're near a wall, move closer to the wall. From warrior one, reach down and place your hands on top of your blocks. Firmly grasp them or the wall. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, begin to lift the left foot off of the mat and spin your thigh in toward the middle of your body. So really flex through that foot. Beautiful. That's perfect. That's literally perfect. Exhale and lower back down. And then you can move your blocks out of the way, plant your hands to frame your foot, step back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gaze to the top of the mat, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, step the right foot back for high lunge. Both toes should be facing the front of the mat. Bend into the left knee. Reach your arms up to the sky, palms face each other. Or you can take high prayer. Exhale, spin the right foot out to the right, open up to warrior one. Firm through your hips here, really sink in. And then if you have blocks, reach down for your blocks again. Plant them where they were to frame your left foot. Exhale, plant your hands on your blocks or the wall. Ground down through your fingertips. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, begin to slowly lift the right leg for warrior three. Exhale, lower down. Move your blocks out of the way. Plant your hands to frame your front foot. Step back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop forward and then come to a seat. Lay your legs out long and lie down on your back. Extend your arms out over your head. And then take a stretch in both directions as if somebody was pulling you. Inhale, bring your arms back to your side. Bring your soles of the feet to the mat so your knees are facing upward. And then take windshield wiper knees. So knock your knees to one side and then to the other. Come back to stillness with your knees facing up. And set up for bridge pose. Take a deep inhale and lift the hips off of the mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the hips again. Exhale, lower down. And we'll take one more round. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower down. And extend both of your legs to the sky for waterfall pose. If you're near a wall, you can lay your legs up the wall. This just helps restore some of that blood flow. We've been standing a lot. Exhale, lower both of your legs back down and bring your right knee into your chest. Lay your left leg long. Send your left knee over to your right side for a twist. Inhale, come back to center and switch legs. Extend the right leg out long. Bring the left knee into the chest. Exhale and send the left knee over to the right side of your mat. All right, inhale, come back into center. Bring both of your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Exhale, lay your legs out long. Hands come to the side. Savasana. Feel free to lay here for as long as you like. Thank you for joining this practice with us. Namaste.